Oh man, I was supposed to do this like around 6. Then I just got lazy. So I'm like, I'll do it around 7. As soon as it hit 7, I passed out. I passed out hard. I woke up at 8. Other than 9. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, yeah, I woke up at like 8 on the dot. I'm like, oh snap. I mean, I'm not that late. It's only 1 hour late. But yeah, I didn't upload yesterday. I had some schoolwork to do. But I'll be uploading the rest of this week because tomorrow's Avengers. I mean Marvel stuff. Yada yada yada. But anyway, hey everybody, it's Kevin here for you. One of the I Like series. I haven't done one of these in a while. I was supposed to do another one, but I just couldn't figure out a character to do. Because any show or movie I do, I wanted to do a obscure character that's not like a main character. I like every time I do this, I don't want to do like the main character. Whatever I do, I want to do, and I not even like somebody around the main character. I want to do somebody else that's not that don't get too much spotlight and stuff. I want to do that before I go back to that series and do like the main heavy hitters that everybody likes that like a ton of information about. I do some of the more side characters first, get them some exposure. That's pretty nice. But anyway, today we're gonna be doing Gild Tesoro. I thought it was T, like T, and then the word is Zoro, like regular Zoro. I was mistakenly wrong every time I looked it up. I spelled it wrong. I thought it was just T Zoro, like the regular Zoro. That is not it at all. But today is gonna be Gild Tesoro from the One Piece Film Gold, which was an amazing film. Film Gold was my first One Piece movie I saw in theaters, so he was my first antagonist in the One Piece movies. I remember for the longest, I thought Gild Tesoro didn't actually have a devil fruit because in the trailers and in the movies too, it wasn't just like video editing in the trailers. When Zoro went to attack Gild Tesoro, because his devil fruit is the gold fruit. He can control and manipulate gold that he specifically touched. And now, normally, this fruit wouldn't be, unless, like, I guess if you get gold on your person, but normally, if you just in like a random place, it wouldn't be too effective. But the place that he's at, he made it really well to where he's like super powerful. Like the whole Gil Tesoro giant ship that's like considered an island. That's like he has so much money that the world government considers this giant ship that he has and his own island. I mean, you can believe like it's gigantic. Like, look at the movie. Like, this thing is huge. It has a whole city on it. Like, it's huge, and it's being pulled by these giant turtles too. I remember seeing that in the movie. I don't remember ever seeing like giant turtles in the world of One Piece and please in the world of One Piece, like in the manga or anime. If you say that they are, I can believe you about the wacky stuff that's in the show. But I don't believe we ever seen giant turtles before. But it's pulled by two giant turtles anyway. The way he got to, his whole city is made with gold. Like he has so much money, it's just gold everywhere, like everywhere on this person. He's everywhere, so he has plenty of ammunition to fight if he needs to fight. And then when you walk into a city, unless you like, I guess unless you fly, unless yeah, I guess unless you fly over and you land on top of the city, when you go into the main entrance, there's like the little gold flakes that look beautiful. You just think that's a cool decoration, but no, those gold flakes get into your system, your body. And then when the Starhawk started to attack him in the beginning of the movie, he literally activated the gold that was inside their system and started like freezing them like started hardening the gold encased on top of their body, like on the skin and inside, and they couldn't move. Like he's like he's genius. Like that is a genius move. Like about that. Like you can't tell me that's not genius. That was a really very smart move. Like that was smart on his part. Anyway, in the first trailer, when Zoro went to go attack him, like the camera specifically zoomed in on his hands and it showed those like golden rings he had on, those huge golden rings, and a bunch of blue electricity started to come off his hands, and then that golden dragon, because he can manipulate gold where he can make hardened gold turn into liquid gold so it can move around more freely. And then when he brings it by him, he can reharden it, so it's like gold again. Like I know I keep in the back of my mind every time I say that. I think because in every like show, anime or cartoon or TV show, just about every time they bring up gold, it's like one of the hardest things in the world. I think I heard somewhere that gold isn't actually like that hard. It's like you can break it pretty easily. I never knew that, but in anime and stuff, it's like one of the hardest things in the world. So when I'm watching this, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like he can reharden it. He's like, anyway, the Zoro clashed with it after the Zoro melted down that gold dragon, brought it over to him and rehardened it. And I was like, hold up, why is it like blue electricity coming off his hands if he can control gold? Like, what's the point of that? I was thinking either he doesn't actually have a devil fruit, it's those rings, and if you take off the rings, you can't do it, or he has a devil fruit that's not actually the gold fruit, but the way he uses it, it makes it look like he does. But no, he actually does have it. I guess that's just like a cool animation trick. Because even in the beginning, like any almost like yeah, I think like every time, just about every time he uses his gold fruit, there's like blue electricity coming off in the beginning when he's walking and snapping. And it's my profile picture right now with him just in that nice gold and white suit. He's walking up those golden stairs. He's like, all right, it's so time. And he makes that golden microphone with a spear and he stabs it into the ground. There's a ton of blue electricity. And that is such a beautiful scene when that golden water and liquid stuff starts to splash around him, and he finally boosts himself up into the main stage audience, and he's like, "All right, let's do." And he starts to sing it. So like that, he has a suave, too. Like he's really suave and nice, and his outfit is pretty nice too. Like the gold, not the gold one. I mean, the gold one is nice at the beginning, but he only wears it at the beginning. After that, he goes into his like purple, not purple, pink tracksuit. Where he has that one golden, not one golden, one white strip down on the right. It was a cool detail when he after he got into his black suit, it was all black. He saw that white golden, that white. I keep saying white golden, that white strip on the right. After he started fighting Luffy, he had like a stripe on his face, but it was made out of blood because he was getting hurt, and it went like on his forehead, down over his eye, to his cheek. So he had like two lines. One, like when he's all suave and nice, is on the right, but now when he's like getting messed up and he's getting outplayed, it's on the left. Okay, and he's also an awakened user, which is pretty cool, pretty decent. He was awakened because I forgot her name, the girl with the purple hair, that Nami's friend. But she said if you even like touch any of the gold in the main tower on the city, or yeah. I think if you touch it, yeah, that's crazy. I think if you touch it, it will alert him because he can like sense or feel anything that you're not supposed to be touching. All the gold parts of the thing. Like if you're touching the gold in the main tower or try to steal it, he's automatically notified. He can like sense it because he's awakened. Which is pretty dope. I guess that'd be a lot better because it'd be better than making gold, making anything into gold because there was already a buttload of gold on the island already. So just making more things into gold will just be crazy. Which would be crazy. But his downside is just like seawater, his downside is sort of like crocodiles. Because obviously seawater is already the natural enemy of my bad, feeling yawn coming up. I'm sorry, y'all. Whew. Sounded more like a scream than a yawn. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, just like how every devil fruit weakness is water, he has an added on weakness because just like crocodile, if water gets on, like the salt water gets onto the person that the gold flakes are in, it automatically disappears with salt water. And if seawater touches the gold that he's using, it seems like it just disintegrates. Not disintegrates, but it starts to like gold doesn't do this, but they like rush because when the seawater started falling all over the city and all over the gold stuff in the city, the gold just like blew up in little dust gold particles, not like instantly, but it did it pretty fast. It was like toosh, 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 and it was all gone. Beside the gold that was on this person, that happens. I'm like, was that fake gold? But nah, devil fruit would probably take fake gold. So that's real gold. This is just, I guess, since it was devil fruit oriented, or like since it was affected by the devil fruit, it just dissipates when like a mass amount of seawater touches it. So that kind of is a downfall. But other than that, which normally doesn't happen because I doubt regular rain does that. It's just seawater. They specifically say just seawater. But but the place he was in is so powerful. I used to always want to make a video about who would win, Gild Tesoro, Siki, or Zed, the three main movies before Stampede. And I always thought it was going to be Gild Tesoro. If they all like, what do they fight on this island? Because those gold flakes would mess him up. Even though it wasn't on the island, he has so much gold. I mean, so much gold. He is evil. Especially when they made that bet with everybody else. I mean, with the Straw Hacks for Zoro Live, like he puts people in debt and make him work it off. But you know, the debt that he puts him in, you're gonna be working that off for the rest of your life. That's how he gets all his crew members and people there working there, like the staff, like all the staff on Guild Tesoro is just really his slaves. Like it's really his slaves, which is kind of sad. And when they were trying to do the heist to steal his gold to give it back to Guild Tesoro, I really love that one move. I really love that. Like it's not even a fight; it's like that mini little fight he has with Luffy because there's so much gold around. He has plenty. He has plenty of gold to work with. So when Luffy went gear second and zoomed towards them, he made that golden wall for him to clash against, and it's all liquefied, so it just dispersed. And then that liquid wall slowly starts to spin like the center, then it starts to spin around and it starts to get smaller and smaller. And then that giant golden wall turned into a golden gauntlet for him. He said, "Gold, Bamba." It's like, that is such a cool. I think it's the Gumba part. I mean the Bamba part. All right. Gold. Yeah, I think it's the Bumba part. That's the part I really like. And the way his voice actor says it too, like that really, it is really just a punch. Like after he said that, he punches Luffy, he goes flying and he breaks the floor, and he stabs Frankie, and then they fall down the golden hole. That was just it was just a cool animation of that golden wall turning into a gauntlet, and then he wears the golden gauntlet, and then he goes gold Mamba, and then just punches Luffy. It's the Mamba part that gets me. I love that Mamba part. One more time, one more time. Oh, I love that gold Mamba. Oh, I love that part. I love that part so much. I don't know why. It's just so funny to me how his voice actor really sold that line. Like the way his voice actor said it, man. Like you can see it in his face in the animation, and the way his voice actor said it. Like he is having fun messing with Luffy and fighting him right now. He's just having so much fun. And then I remember he had a one little line with Zoro, just like talking to him about his friends are gonna come, and then he knew that they were stealing the gold from the start. And this isn't really a go to Zoro moment, but I don't really want to put it in here because it's not go to Zoro. It was just like when he was taunting everybody that he knew they were trying to steal his gold the whole time. They messed up because he knows, so he was gonna kill Zoro, and he's so evil because he could have just killed the Straw Hat, so he just do away with them, put him as slaves. But he wanted to taunt them so much that he made these golden tentacles. He grabbed all of them and he was holding them in place so they can watch Zoro die like a front row seat. Like he is just sadistic. Like he is mean. He is crazy. I remember he caught everybody up, but Sanji was the only one that was sort of like battling the tentacle things, but there was like so many he made. He got overwhelmed and he got caught up pretty quickly because there was so many he made. Like he just couldn't get away from them. And after that, Luffy and Frankie was able to get the seawater going, and then they just dispersed everything. And Zoro started taunting him, and he started getting mad. And then we finally see his flashback, and his flashback was pretty sad too. We see that at a young age he was pretty. He was sorry, not pretty. I was gonna say pretty poor. I paused because I thought I was gonna yawn again. He was really poor, and he wanted to be a star. He was looking outside at some fireworks wherever he was living, and he said he wanted to be a star one day. He started singing, and then his mom, his mom, he had a bottle in his hand, and she started yelling at Tesoro as a kid, telling him to shut up, stop singing. And one of her, I remember I noticed every time I see the flashback, I was watching a few clips and stuff to get my knowledge back up on Guild Tesoro. This movie came out in like 2016. Yeah, it was like my freshman year. Yeah, it was around like my freshman year when this movie came out. I remember every time I watched these flashbacks, even in the theater, I noticed one of her eyes were kind of faded because the other Zoro eyes are like blue. Yeah, they're like blue or green. But one of her eyes was sort of like faded out. So either she's just blind in one eye or she got hurt somehow. And I guess, I mean, it didn't really apply that she beat him. I mean, she was yelling at him for singing. And I guess he wasn't a drunk because he was drinking. Maybe she beat him, but I don't know. And after that, we see Giltoro a bit older. He's with like some mafia people just stealing money, and he's poor, so he doesn't have the money to give back the money that he borrowed. So they start to beat him, and he's sitting outside of a human shop, and he's singing a song, and then we meet Stella, and he falls in love with her. Like they both fall in love with each other, and they start to talk, but obviously she's in a human shop. She's gonna get sold off one day. he starts to work his butt off hard so he can make enough money so he can buy her out of the human side before some dude buys him. But then obviously a celestial dragon has that money, so my bad. He has a lot of money, so he buys her, and obviously I get Gild upset because he mess her up. Like it's a celestial dragon, so he gets mad. She says that I can thank you for loving me. Like I'm just a random girl slave in a human shop, and you love me. I always love your songs. I hope we can be together someday. I hope I can see you smile. Obviously, he knows they're probably not going to see each other one day because it's a celestial dragon taking her away. So he starts to attack the celestial dragon, but his bodyguards grab him. And because he tried to attack the celestial dragon, he becomes a slave too, but not around Stella. She probably goes off somewhere else, and he becomes a slave too. He gets tortured. He had a celestial dragon branding on his back, but when we see him in the movie, when his shirt is off, when he's chilling in the jacuzzi, he has a giant star on his back. So I guess he like branded himself again to like get away with the celestial dragon score, sort of like the Sun Pirates did. They had the Celestial Dragon branding scar when they were slaves. But as soon as they escaped, they got a different brand and branded themselves with that new sun symbol for the Sun Pirates. And my bad, something behind. I'm so sorry. Um, anyway, they started to get branded. Then the Celestial Dragon says the thing, "Oh, you can laugh. Who gave you permission? You can laugh." And he starts to say that to some other people. Got this wrong. After that, Fetcher Tiger comes, frees all the slaves of Mary Joy. He escapes, and we get a lot of quick flashes. And the flashes we see is one flash we see of him eating a go-go fruit. Another flash we see him talking to Flamingo. And I saw a video on it to where I heard that Gil Tesoro sent somebody to attack Flamingo, like company. They stole the go-go fruit, and Flamingo kept trying to kill him, but he couldn't. So they were like, we'll just become business partners. We do see one scene, like I said, where he's talking, like he's sitting down and he like look like he's negotiating with Doflamingo because they're both sitting down on two different couches and there's money in front of them, so they're negotiating something. I didn't really get that whole backstory thing with him, with him stealing the fruit from him, because in the background it's like fire everywhere. So I thought it was when he was escaping and he found out somehow. Because the Celestial Dragons, they did this with Boa. They like made it like forced her to eat a devil fruit, which is kind of dumb because she could have just used the power to escape. Or the powers that she had was not really meant for it. I mean, she could. I don't know. Like she could. Like that's kind of dumb how because like I guess the only way this could torture somebody because it takes away your power to swim when you eat a devil fruit, but you could gain like an amazing power so you can kill them and escape. So that's kind of dumb. I bet they're still handcuffed to sea prism stones. So never mind. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're handcuffed to sea prism stones. So never mind. Never mind. Anyway, after that he escapes and we see another flash of him with his new crew in the movie that Straw Hats fight. And we see a couple more flashes of him laughing. And then we cut to now. I remember during the Luffy when he was fighting Luffy, I really liked that scene where when Geltazoro grabbed Nami when he was in that giant mech. And oh yeah, before I forget, I thought for the longest I thought this theory was so good. I thought he had Dynastones because in the last movie that like purple pinkish like glow ooze was on the Dynastones, and that was really just a movie thing, I think. And then in the very next movie, he has that purple glow stuff on his giant mech. I have a screenshot of the mech, not a screenshot. It's in the thumbnail on the bottom right corner. You guys can see on the bottom right corner his giant mech. I mean, the glow does look pretty cool. I mean, the glow does look pretty nice. It does look pretty cool, but that had nothing to do with the Dynastones. It had nothing to do with the Dynastones. So I was completely off the money. I was completely off the money. But hey, it's whatever. It's whatever. Um, Anyway, back to what I was saying. I really like that moment where when he was in the giant mech, Get Zero grabbed Nami and he was like taunting Luffy, and Luffy would like give her back, and he started cracking the ground with his fingers. I like that moment. But the moment I like was when he looked at Luffy, we see like a big, we like see a quick flash of Tesoro when he got slammed on the ground by one of the bodyguards. And he was looking up at Stella, like yelling for her. And then it clicks back to like we can see a quick flash of him yelling like that. And then we cut back to Luffy. He sees that, like he sees Luffy in him. And he starts to he's like, huh? Like he starts to freak out a little bit. And he throws an army, but obviously Luffy catches it. Like I really like that when he sees him and Luffy, like trying to get Nami back, trying to like how he was trying to get Stella back. Like that was a pretty sweet moment. Before I go into the mech fight, I guess the only other big crazy moment he had before the gold Mamba. I had to get it back in there. I had to get it back in there. Before that, he what was it? Oh yeah, it was when he was chilling in that little party room with all those random people, and that one dude started laughing like crazy about how Luffy said he's gonna be king of the pirates. I don't know what he thinks he's gonna do. And Tesoro, he just like he had a little wine glass of wine in it. I was glass, and he starts to pour the wine glass on the floor, and he looks really mad. And everybody gets quiet instantly. And he says, "Who told you can laugh, huh?" And then the dude starts to freak out, saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And then Tesoro takes off one of his big old golden rings and throws it at him. I'm like, what? Because I mean, I knew his devil fruit was the gold fruit, but at the same time, I was like, what's that supposed to do? He throws it out and he starts to freak out. And then Gild melts down. I mean, he makes the golden ring into liquid gold. It dispersed around the dude and wraps around him. And then he hardens it. So now he's stuck and it completely wraps around his arms and legs. So now he's stuck and he falls over. He tells him, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, sorry. Then the ceiling, it opens and a ton of gold falls on his face, like liquid gold. But then he hardens that gold and it's like airtight, so he can't breathe. And he's like freaking out and he dies. Obviously, everybody is shocked because the man just died in front of him. The Gild Zoro, he just starts to laugh and he starts to clapping his hands. He goes, now that is entertainment. I was like, yo, what? Oh my goodness. And I used to always love watching the film Gold trailer over and over again because of the quote that he says. It's not like a quote. I guess it's a really long quote that he says. Obviously, I'm not gonna play it. I try to memorize it down for you. I'm gonna try to say it here. But the quote that he says throughout the whole trailer, or this is like the second half of the trailer, not the whole trailer. But the quote that he said, I just love to like put that on full volume because the music and him saying it, like just putting it on full volume, just always have goosebumps. I was like, yo, I was so ready to see this movie, just seeing how Film Gold looked, how beautiful it was, and to see how good Zara was. Like, I was so ready to see this movie. All right, I think I got it. I want to mess this up. Okay. Here it is. This city is made to obey my will. That goes for every ounce of gold and for all of you as well. Money is power. Money can't buy anything. Sooner or later, those without it have nothing. No love, no dreams, no strength, no freedom. And once it all sinks in, no hope. That was nice. And then right after the trailer ends, I had that pretty nice. I just mixed it up for like a little bit. Right after the trailer ends, when it goes to black and it starts to show like in theaters around January, you just hear him laugh. And he was like, now that's what I call entertainment. Don't be poor sports straw hats. Yo, I was like, yo, I'm so ready to see this movie. I'm so ready to see this movie. This man got this is wild. And the last two movies ended off with giant mecha battles because Yotazura, when he was really mad, that was a cool moment too because when because all the gold in the city besides on his person just got dissipated, and then he got really mad. He was like, "I'll show you entertainment." He punches the ground, and then just a ton of gold starts to get dispersed. But we knew that because there was like an underground slave type of thing where there was a ton of gold there, so he uses that. He makes that giant golden mech that you see in the thumbnail, and I was like, "Oh snap, that is cool!" So that ended off in a mech battle, and Stampede when Bullet went to a mech battle. People didn't really like Bullet because his mech didn't Zero's mech. It did a lot. Like it was going blow for blow, toe to toe with Luffy. Stampede, that movie when Bullet went to his mech, when he went to like his regular metal mech, it didn't really do anything besides one shot Usopp off screen. And then when he used his awakening to like merge with the ground to make himself gigantic, it didn't really do anything besides flail his arms around, and they got beaten like two hits. But Guild Tesoro, man, like it was punching Luffy. Luffy was punching it back. Like, it was going crazy. I really I loved when Luffy was charging at him with a gear third attack, and Guild Tesoro had a regular fist, and then he said, "It's either you go big or go home." And as soon as he said that, his giant fist just made a giant gauntlet. Like it's already a giant mecha fist. But now you just added on a giant metal gauntlet onto it. Like it just made it. It's like he didn't like put it on. It just like made the fist bigger and it looked like a gauntlet. And then he punches Luffy, he goes flying. And Luffy will punch his face, and he'll goes like, "Oh yeah, that was good." And he'll punch him again or stomp on him. And then when the Marines were shooting at his back with the cannons, he turned around. He said, "Oh, y'all want some too?" And his eye opened. He started making laser beams. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Oh my goodness. This is so crazy. And then after Luffy went gear fourth, it was pretty much over because Luffy Luffy one shot, oh no, Giltazoro want to go punch Luffy into the ground. And then you just hear these tremors, and then the whole arm that he punched him with just got disintegrated. Not disintegrated, but it broke, and it broke completely. I mean, it broke completely. And then he melted down the golden mech and just made like gold, like liquid water everywhere. It just consumed everybody. And the only one that was free was Luffy because he can like pseudo fly, sort of. Yeah, he could like pseudo fly. And then it was a really cool moment. I'm gonna try to say the quote that he said during the fight, but he just like had a ton of golden tendrils, and then he did his gold Leo the Dio. Don't know what that means, but I know it probably means something commemorating him. And he shoots down this giant golden like snake type thing right at Luffy, and it hits him, and he goes into like the golden water, and he starts to laugh, and then he does golden splash, which is really nice animation. And then he starts to like taunt Luffy and starts to say that well, I remember I didn't understand what he was trying to say. He said, "How does it feel to gaze upon a god?" He said that in the movie theater. I understood it there. But when I bought the movie for myself, my old TV, I don't know why, but the settings were like, I guess the volume settings were weird. So it was only that specific part when he said that the music would be louder than what he says. I couldn't understand what he says unless I had my mic on. So I'm like, why is my TV doing this? Like, why is the music getting higher than his voice? I don't remember changing the volume setting, but whenever I played on any other TV, I mean, literally any other TV, when I played it on, it would not make it would not make the music so loud to where I couldn't understand what Giltazoro was saying. So I guess that was just a me thing. I guess that was just my TV doing that for some unknown reason. Like, that was really dumb. I don't know why. I don't know why I would do that. It was doing that for some unknown crazy reason. Like that was just so dumb. That was just so dumb. And okay, I'm gonna try to say the quote here. I'm gonna try to say like the quote that he uses when he's fighting Dia. Anyway, right after that, right after that, Luffy uses gold. I mean, not gold. He does Gear Fourth Leo Rex Suzuka, and he punches. Well, I guess it's like a bazooka attack. Anyway, he defeats Giltazaro. If you look, like, I mean, really look in like all the little golden spikes in the background, you can see a black one. That's Giltazaro. I don't know why it took me. And never that it took me so long. I don't know why I was really trying to focus to find him. I don't know why it was supposed to be him flying away. I don't know. And after that, he gets captured by Marines, and it was a sort of a sweet moment. I guess you could say sweet moment when he landed on top of the Marine ship where Sabo and oh yeah, I noticed when he was laughing like crazy, like a maniac, fighting Luffy in the final battle. When he started laughing, he made the gold splash. Lucci and Sabo just stopped fighting. They turned around and looked in fear of what Giltazaro was doing. Like I mean, they were sort of close to that fight, but they were underwater really. But none, they were. He wasn't really focusing on them. They were fighting like bloodlust, fighting each other. And then when he does Golden Splash, he just stops. Like they just stop and look at him. I'm like, yo, like they look really scared and nervous here. What is going on? Like they look really scared and nervous at what Gil Tesoro is doing. Like that was just wild to me. So wild. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it. This is the pain of being powerless. Your loved one is. I'm sorry. That's the worry of the world, I'm afraid. Gold rules over everything. And it kind of come back to him because his loved one Stella got taken away by his very eyes because he didn't have gold. Well, he didn't have enough money to buy her, but gold is a lot of money. But you get what I'm saying? Like he's only like this because of Stella. And when he gets defeated, he hears Stella too, like oh man, that was when he hears Stella say, "I wish I could. I hope I can look back on this memory of you and smile." And he hears her right before Luffy hits him. he, he gets he gets wrecked. I mean, he gets wrecked. Anyway, after that, that's really it because he didn't. He's not. He's a movie character. He's not canon. So after this, he's not really in the story anymore unless Oda wants to like have a little nod to him and have somebody like say his name randomly. I guess in the story. That was really it for Gilderzar. They did, which is really cool. I didn't expect them to do this. They did put him in One Piece Burning Blood, the fighting game, and then there was another One Piece 2D fighting game. Burning Blood was a 3D arena fighting game, and there was a 2D fighting game on the DS that came out around that time, and they put him in that too, which was really cool. I really liked that. I didn't expect them to put movie characters in there, but they did. He was really cool. I mean that was, and they had Luffy's and everybody else's outfits from Film Gold, which is pretty cool. I really like how they put him in the game. He looks pretty cool. And I never had him at DLC when I was playing Bread and Blood. I might get him because he looks really fun to use. His ultimate was really cool because when you activate it, all the golden stuff, like all the golden stars on his outfit start to glisten, like ding, ding, like how you see in anime. And then he's like, all right, let's do this. And he goes into his giant mech, but you don't actually get to use it like you do with Frankie's. He goes into his giant mech that hits you, and if he lands the hit, he like holds the ground and he punches you. And there's like golden tendrils that come up from the ground that just hit you over and over and over again, and you die. But in Burning Blood, if you're low health, it does a bit of a cinematic one. So he holds the ground, he cocks his fist back, and then like the whole background turns golden. Right before you hit I think you see him inside of the mech, right? Because there were moments in the fight where you'll see him inside the mech and he starts to bleed. So I guess whatever type of damage that he takes on the outside of the mech, he'll take on the inside too, because he was bleeding a little bit when it was zooming aside and you see him inside the mech. Let me just make sure. Make sure. Gild Tesoro. That was so cool. That's just so cool how they put him in the game. I would not expect a movie character. He looked good. Like they didn't rush him. Like he really looks good in this game. He really does. It's so crazy. So crazy. Okay, yeah, look, okay, I'm looking at his ultimate. My bad. There's a bit of silence. I'm looking at his ultimate right now. Just to see if he really does. Oh no, he punches you. Okay, I thought he went to his mech. I know his ultimate is his mech though. Yeah, yeah, you do see him inside. Well, you don't see him inside, but you do see like a zoomed in face of him, like laughing and getting ready to hit you. Sorry for the bit of silence there. But actually, Gil Tesoro, he's a pretty cool character. Obviously, kind of really messed up from his backstory. But he was a really cool character. I liked him. I love how you put him. I hope they bring him back in another fighting game that they do, another One Piece fighting game. I hope they bring him back. Really cool character for Film Gold. Film Gold was an amazing movie. I love that movie. I used to watch that movie back to back like all the when I get on DVD. Boy, I used to watch that movie like crazy. Sometimes I used to watch the whole movie like crazy. All the time I used to just skip to the ending or like just parts where he'll be talking or fighting because like his abilities and how he looks in the animation was so cool. I just skipped like the end part when they're fighting. That was really good. That was really good. Other than that, that's good Tesoro. Thank you all for watching. I thank you all out there for being wonderful and beautiful and handsome human beings. I'll see you guys next time. And bye bye. One more before I go on my last one. Gold Mamba. Gold Mamba. So nice. I love when he says that. Yeah, I couldn't I kept looking up like Luffy versus the Zoro dub. And we just saw the final fight. I looked up like Golden Mamba. I couldn't find that either. I mean, if I did, it was like in sub. I guess I gotta pop in my disc again and watch that Pacific scene because I guess nobody liked it like that besides me to have it go Gold Mamba in the ear. But it's whatever. I mean, it's whatever. I'll see y'all later.